big die roll win by Tom. You could see how much it mattered for him, closing his eyes, putting his up in prayer. Can he finally have the breakout performance?
Yeah, that prayer is probably the most important card in his deck as well. If you go first and you can activate it in the draw phase, you can sneak quite a lot of few plays underneath a drawn Lockbird. So let's see if Tom has that in the cards.
They were the most played deck in Top Cuts with 18 each. And here we see the Fuvalos. Do we have a response from Tom?
Let's go.
And a second one.
Wow. That hurts.
A little wins from Tom there. He is running so many cards to try and deal with these Molchamis when he goes first. He has got the Call by the Grave. He has got the Crossout Designator, but in this case, not got access to either of them. Looks like his deck is very combo heavy, very going first oriented.
Also like the addition of the Crossout Designator in the main deck, just, you know, to have an extra option just in case. This one is gonna hurt, to be fair. Like the double Fuvalos being drawn from Giuseppe. Difficult to navigate through this, and what else can you expect if you're Giuseppe now? The Ritual get activated from Tom. Not easy, honestly, to play under Fuvalos like double.
Yeah, it really depends on the choice of deck. There's so many ways to play MITSURUGI, and you can play the version that Tom is playing with the highest ceiling, with the RYZEAL cards and a couple of Fiendsmith cards thrown in. It opens so many options up, but on the other hand, these are all cards that you don't really want to have when you're staring down a Molchavi Fuvalos.
And yeah, here the German player, amazing accomplishment, amazing career, is gonna try his best to just navigate such a tough spot, but he has been here multiple times, winning on stream in the past.
We are seeing the mirror. A lot of players this weekend have opted to include a bigger MITSURUGI package in their MITSURUGI RYZEAL decks, and Tom is no exception. He's running the mirror, so presumably accompanied by some pre-preparation of rights. And here we see, even in the main deck, the MITSURUGI Magatama, I think it is.
Magatama.
Offer you a bit more options in your ending field.
Yeah, seems like a common occurrence. We saw it in Johannes' deck also when he knocked out Joshua Smith. He's still one of those players in the event, so maybe this is, you know, a new
addition.
Yeah, addition to the deck.
Yeah, MITSURUGI is a theme with a lot of different options that you don't have to run, but you can. There's some very powerful other cards, like the Magatama, like the Trap, that can negate a monster effect as well.
Are we just going to pass? No, seems like we are. Wow, interestingly enough, we're going to just proceed the normal summon that Purulia and give 2 more draws.
2 cards for 1 IP. Find out soon if it was worth it.
And yeah, that's a pass. So Giuseppe gonna start his turn with a lot of resources and staring down this IP and Futsu.
Yeah, this is the ideal situation for Giuseppe after losing the dice roll.
Indeed. Oh, and we start thing off with the Ritual.
Well, this could be a bit of a problem for Tom if Murakumo is the first thing to hit the field. Could neutralize the IP somewhat.
And oh, not quite. It's its own Futsu. Oh. And yeah, here soon enough we'll have another question of does Tom have any interruption in end?
You can also tell how much, you know, Tom really thought about summoning the IP, if that was really worth it, giving Giuseppe 2 extra cards. But I don't really think he's holding any interactions in his hand. I think he's just playing with the 2 set cards as well.
to be the case, and we're gonna find out soon, because now area of chain links come from Giuseppe.
Yeah, Tom can start special summoning monsters from his graveyard, but if he does, then Giuseppe will have the option to summon some from his own as well. So we could see an army of reptiles on either side.
Yeah, I think he's just going for the IP.
Okay. Is it just gonna be SP? Yes, it is. So IP into SP. But still Giuseppe has so much to him. And yeah, look at this. I mean, we have seen MITSURUGI RYZEAL perform extremely well throughout the entire weekend. And at least one of them, of course, coming from this match will be going to the World Championship.
Interesting choice there, Tom neglecting to summon something from his own graveyard with his own Futso.
Yeah. I mean, we knew about that, but just, I mean, Tom, desperate means, desperate measures, just trying to stay in this, give himself the chance to have another turn.
Yeah, we're gonna get so much back. We still have the Saji to come back off the Futso, and then the prayers can bring back anything else you like.
Ooh, but sudden change of mind right there at the end, and
then the Futso itself gonna come back.
Okay. Another chance to respond from Tom.
Makes sense. Giuseppe wanting to make sure he can summon something that also has its own chain link and maybe protect the effect of Futso a little bit.
Very least we know the Magatama is most likely there.
There's the Ash. Okay, all the prayers.
Magatama, yeah.
A lot of interruptions from Giuseppe here. Let's see if Tom responds to this, but really it's going to be very difficult for Tom here now, because I think you're kind of forced to use the Nagatama. I feel like...
Yeah, I mean, Magatama, you can't do anything unless you have a reptile to tribute, so you might not even be able to use it at all. It's a real problem for Tom here.
That hurts.
Because, yeah, sometimes you kind of rely on the prayers to resolve and start bringing back your Futso, and then that can bring back other reptiles, but once your prayers has been negated now, he might struggle to get anything onto the field, might actually pass his turn without even summoning Murakumo.
Indeed, and as we can see, Giuseppe just added his own copy of Magatama, making things even worse for Tom. Obviously, so much on the line. We saw, I would say, a bit of a UK dominance in the past few years at the European Championship, and until finally we had again an Italian winner in Esteban. So the question will be, can we have a back-to-back also for Italy? And we do have two chances at it with Giuseppe and Lorenzo. So obviously we'll be in support of whoever will be the most deserving to do so, but
yeah, I think it's
I think that is enough. Giuseppe does win game one, going second. Here they are.
So is Tom gonna have to stare down 2 Monch armies once again?
For now. Well, there goes one in the Puglia.
I think that Tom looked like he was saying hand, so that's going to be at least 1 draw for Giuseppe.
Indeed.
He sort of had the answer to draw on Lockbird there, because it's starting with Ritual into Murakumo against the draw on Lockbird. is a really, really great way to do it, because then your opponent's forced to give up 2 cards, plus you've already got a Search and a Ritual in play. But in this case, no Drawn Lockbird just yet, just a Perulia.
And here we see also the Serpent has been included by many of the players with these RYZEAL cards in the deck, and pays off. We see another Fuvalos from Giuseppe is the question. No, not going to be the case, so at least not going to be staring down Fuvalos. But there is an Ash Blossom coming down.
When there's a talent as well.
Oh, let's take a look at the end. All right, so interruptions are not there anymore, and well, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, this one makes a lot of sense to me. Sagi, I don't know if Tom knows his opponent's deck list, but that Engraver is stuck because the only target is Sanct. You might have an inkling that is the case, because I think in these decks where you're running all 3 engines, MITSURUGI, RYZEAL and Fiendsmith, you're going to struggle to include so many targets.
Yeah, definitely an unfortunate end that from Giuseppe. And now we are full knowledge, so we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, he knows as long as he doesn't summon from the hand, so probably no RYZEALs today.
Yep.
I mean, no one had to use any RYZEALs in the last game either, actually.
No, fair enough.
Such powerful cards, but do have that downside into the more Charmies.
Yeah, I mean, could still see some, but maybe from the extra deck, not so much from the end.
Tom, it looks to me like a Moon of the Closed Heaven if we're going to go for a Link 2 right now. Here we go. Tom running the most trimmed down Fiendsmith engine that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which one's his love? There's only one Engraver.
There it is. That's the engine.
That's it. That's the engine.
That's the engine.
Well, it's still 4 extra deck slots, but it'll do.
But yeah, we decided to include only one Engraver in the deck.
But it's definitely worth it if it can get any 2 monsters into a Wave King Caesar.
Yeah, debating about the position, it seems like probably not fully aware of what the side deck from Giuseppe is, but in the end decides to summon it in attack mode. Makes sense given it's, you know, only 1800 in defense, I believe. And yeah, it's gonna take quite a lot for Giuseppe to come back into this, especially given, of course, the Purification is going to join the party. And we could have another very quick game, 1 draw.
I'm trying to imagine what it is. The answer is almost always X RYZEAL, but I'm not sure X RYZEAL is going to cut it.
We knew about that, and of course it's got negated. As you have mentioned, we cannot use the Engraver from end, no other target available. And it's a pass, so yeah, doesn't look like we are going to be waiting all that much. We have an Ash.
So the card that was drawn was the Ash.
Sure.
But the Ash
Doesn't really change.
Yeah, doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
Futsu can come
And
straight back.
Giuseppe has seen enough, smiles it off, and picks up his cards. And here they are. Giuseppe will have a shot at going first for the first time in this match, by the way.
Players are just counting up, making sure they have side decked all correctly.
And there goes a nice handshake. Important moment. Arguably the most important of their Yu-Gi-Oh! Careers up until now.
And here comes the Saji.
Seems Tom is not holding any Mulcharmin so far. We'll soon find out if that will be the case. But here comes the prayers from Giuseppe. Let's see if there's any response to this, but doesn't seem like, you know, I think it's holding a, I think it's sort of side frame.
Not tributing a card for prayers. This is not something you see every day. Just adding a single card that's assigned to me of quite a weak hand.
And here it is. I think it's the first time that we can see a side framing delta being activated. And
oh, but is Giuseppe just reading that to see if it negates the activation? Because as we saw once earlier in a feature match, if prayers activation gets negated, then you can just activate another one. But that would seem quite unlikely considering he just searched a prayers. Oh.
Oh, and there's the axe.
It's going to lock him out of his Fiendsmith engine, but it will take, I would take that every day of the week if we get to a Habakiri.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have mentioned these side frames making an appearance, and obviously not quite the gamma, but still can be extremely annoying. And let's see if there is anything else from Tom to stop the aggression.
Yeah, maybe that potentially weak-looking start from Giuseppe has baited Tom into using that side frame delta a little bit earlier than he might otherwise, because you've got to imagine that's normally wanting to negate a ritual.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a very powerful card, but you really need to be careful where to activate it, right? Because I feel like if Tom doesn't have any other interruptions, that, of course, is not enough.
Yeah, and in fact, Giuseppe can just go ahead now and pick up that prayers back from the graveyard or search another copy later in the turn.
And it seems like that will be the case. Couldn't return the favor to Giuseppe, who has been just throwing Mulcharmis at him all match long. And that is a big issue, because obviously that's the downside of side frames. They do occupy your field.
Comes ritual number 2, and how often do we see MITSURUGI losing after resolving a ritual spell? I can't imagine it's very often. Here comes surely the Murakumo, and I guess in this instance he wouldn't wipe the field, although Giuseppe seems to think that he wants to.
What an opener from Giuseppe, and Tom doesn't have anything else, I think it was the only hand trap that Tom was holding.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that board wipe there, because it just opens you up to, you know, if Tom, for example, just had another delta, he would now be able to use it. I think you can take it as a given that there are no Mulcharmis in his hand, though.
Indeed. But that would be a funny way to you know, have another go at it from Tom, for sure. Let's see. We could soon find out, but for now we do get to see some RYZEAL action for the first time ever in this match. I mean, just shows the difference in power. I would assume he's playing a light package when it comes to the payoffs. Not expecting like cross, but I don't know. We can take a look at the deck list from that. And yeah, we do see the detonator right away.
Yeah, he plays. Yeah, there's the one detonator, one dual drive, and that's it.
I think
it's a very small RYZEAL package. Yeah, of course.
I think they're just checking whether he was able to summon the sword when he did. Maybe it was the case that the X was underneath the King of the Feral Imps.
Deck Yeah.
Might be a small problem there.
Yeah, obviously they're gonna check and just ask whether he has been given a warning. It doesn't seem like that is the case.
So Giuseppe can now ritual
plan
summon.
B. Good catch, and yeah, we are just gonna have to rely on our plan B instead, activating this mirror.
I think yeah, Giuseppe can find a way to tribute it if he wants to. He's not used Habakiri. He can use prayers again, although he might not know that because that is a pretty niche situation.
Of course.
Almost all cards nowadays say use once per turn rather than activate. Prayers is an exception.
But that would be quite the important time to just, you know, check, because imagine going down, you know, due to that, would be something to keep thinking about in the future. So hopefully he does spot that.
You know, I'm thinking he might not actually have any more reptiles to summon with the Habakiri. Maybe that's why he didn't activate it in the first place. So
yeah, now we get to this purification. And in the meantime, we have been informed that the backup future match just is about to head into game 3. The score was tied by Johannes, so they are 1-1 at the moment. But now it's a pass back to Tom. Definitely better than what we thought he was going to be facing off against.
yeah, for sure, this is a dream come true for Tom. I feel like after that X came down, I was imagining it was almost game over. But now we're seeing Tom looking at a fairly weak field.
And yeah, this is gonna be quite something to navigate for Tom. That was the only interruption he has, and it's gonna start with the bonfire right away.
I mean, we have already mentioned it. RYZEAL cars have not been all that present, but now both players having access to them.
When is the time to use Murakumo? Because there's always a bit of an art when to make your opponent discard a card. But my feeling was sooner rather than later if your opponent activates Bonfire in case X'd is the next thing to hit the field.
But it's gonna be ice instead. Yeah, this could be an issue. And we use the purification right away.
Okay.
I mean, it is a big investment, but it is so much value you get of ice if you let it resolve. And against the sort of lighter RYZEAL engine that Tom is running, maybe Giuseppe knows that, he might not have any more RYZEALs to follow it up with. I think I spotted a Call by the Grave in the hand for Tom, but can you afford to Call by the Grave a Murakumo when you're also running the MITSURUGI deck?
We also are not using it anyways, so wow, look at this.
Pressing onwards with the prayers.
Yeah, Tom is doing some thinking calculations. That has to be an unfortunate sequence and choice from Giuseppe, from that king.
Yeah, so easy to do, just not thinking carefully about which material to detach. You'd think at some point it's such a minor decision, but even these minor decisions can come back.
So impactful, honestly. Gotta feel bad for him, but obviously Tom, on the other end, is gonna obviously take the chances that are given to him. And
Giuseppe definitely not out of things yet, though. He is going to get his Futso effect. If he survives the Tom's turn, then he is for sure going to have follow-up for days. He's going to have a handful of Mitsurugi cards and a handful of, well, at least one RYZEAL to play with. But is it going to live the turn?
I'm not too hopeful in terms of at least body language from Giuseppe.
Yeah, Tom's added Murakumo. It's about to come down. It's going to wipe the field, and what's Giuseppe going to have to say about it?
Yeah. You can see Giuseppe, a bit of a sad smirk on his face, but array of chain links available to him. Is there anything that Giuseppe can do to stop this? No, it's going to resolve and clear the field for Giuseppe. Wow.
Giuseppe still got one card face down, and anyone who's played against Mitsurugi knows that the face down card is always Mitsurugi prayers. Or could it be something else?
And now you can tell it is Tom, the one who is thinking about this situation, and that he's so close to doing it.
Oh, is he really gonna get away with this? He's gonna take it. Cannot be prayers.
Wow.
What is going on right now?
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
8,000 damage. Even with nothing else.
Crazy turn of events, and Tom just doesn't seem like he's willing to stop. He's got his eyes on the prize, wants to make it to Paris and have a chance at becoming European champion and finally having that title under his belt. And it seems like he's just moments away from possibly achieving his dream.
What is that face down? How many extra deck cards has Tom got going on here? Oh, he's got the moon next, yep. Gonna cycle through the Fiendsmith cards, it looks like. Is this the time? This is the last moment to activate a potential Nibiru, but are we gonna see one? I guess not.
Not gonna be the case. King Caesar, it's the field, and that seems like it could be moments away now for Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Read him in his face. He's just in quite the unfortunate spot. Here comes Detonator. We are gonna attack, and there goes the handshake.